Hello, welcome to Apocalypse Otaku. I'm your host Shar, and I am here to give you your anime voice actor birthdays, Adult Swim schedule, and 10 things that make no sense about Cowboy Bebop, but we love it anyway. Anyway, as far as birthdays, there are none today. So, we're gonna go right to the 10 things that make no sense about Cowboy Bebop. Alright, so the popular and soon to be Netflix series Cowboy Bebop sometimes preferred style over substance, which led to a few plot holes and questions. There are many plot holes in Cowboy Bebop. This is not me talking, even though I am. This is the, yeah, article. Which is actually part of the show's enduring charm. Rather than a major flow of the series, often Cowboy Bebop intentionally forgoes certain details in order to tell a larger story or show an aesthetic pleasing scene. This storytelling technique leaves the audience with many questions which the creators simply never bothered answering. Let's see. Cowboy Bebop is a show where its characters are stuck in the past because we are shown the world through the lens of these characters. Our viewpoint is narrow and limited, which ultimately causes many things about Cowboy Bebop to make no sense, even if fans don't really mind that they don't. It's just true. 10. Okay, so starting off at number 10. Data dogs, which is what Ein is. Ein is a data dog. Ein is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. The audience learns in Stray Dog Strut, Ein is also a data dog. This means that he underwent testing and research in a lab which enhanced his intelligence. What's not explained about Ein and data dogs in general is why they were created. What purpose, besides assisting a ragtag crew of bounty hunters, do data dogs play in the universe? They simply exist and show, and the show is far better for it. Number 9. The blob in the blob from the refrigerator. Remember Toys in the Attic? That one. Yeah. Cowboy Bebop goes horror in Fridge Monster, aka it's called Toys in the Attic, as the crew is attacked by a mysterious blob with a bite that leaves a bulbous infection. As a session soon reveals, the Blob's origins began in the forgotten refrigerator after Spike left a rock lobster in there for over a year. Don't mind me. How exactly the Blob went through the solidification process and developed an appetite for human flesh remains unknown and truly doesn't matter. We accept its carnivorous inclinations without second guessing its nature. Cowboy Bebop cared little about the Blob's origin story, and somehow the session succeeds because of it. Alicia and Jet's relationship. I don't think they really had to relate on it. Yeah, elaborate on it, because they talked about it in the episode. In session 10, Ganymede Elegy, Jet is looking for Elisa. An old flame who broke his heart. At the session's end, Elisa reveals she left Jet because he was too controlling and she wanted to make her own mistakes, even if it meant ended up with someone like Rent, her new boyfriend, whose bounty was him winding up in jail. The two characters have undeniable chemistry, and the audience wants to see Jet, with his rough exterior, find love and happiness, while Elisa continues with Rent and decides against rekindling the flame with Jet, who will change for her. Remains a mystery and makes no sense. Number 7, Radical Edward. Edward as a character, doesn't make sense. So much so that in her introductory episode, Jamming with Edward, when Jet was interrogating people about who exactly Radical Edward is, everyone's answer is different, with the only consistent being that she is an alien. While the character's age and background remains unexplained, what's for certain is that Edward is an expert hacker. At one point, she even hijacks the Bebop after they lied to her. No, they did not lie to her. Faye lied to her about crowning her an official member of the crew. How she obtained these useful, masterful, these masterful skills is another way. The slow forced, the way the show forced their viewers to suspend their disbelief. The The let's see, number 6, the Cowboy Bebop universe. By all accounts, Cowboy Bebop takes place in a world where an apocalyptic event made Earth uninhabitable. However, there are cultural references to real life, such as Spike mentioning the jazz saxophonist Charlie Parker, and the crew watching a knockoff version of Tom and Jerry, which connect the show to our universe. At some point, civilization went through a jump in technology, which increased the reliance on spaceships and hyperspace travel. The details behind this great technological advancement is never mentioned in the show, and audiences are meant to accept the universe. So far, this is making absolutely no sense. 5. The crew's professions as bounty hunters. Spike and the rest of his crew are bounty hunters. Most of the sessions revolve around them watching the show Big Shot and then spending the rest of the session trying and mostly failing to capture the specified bounty. However, as viewers soon discover, the Bebop crew aren't that skilled at their job. Out of all the bounties they seek throughout the series, they get the payday less than 50% of the time. One would think at some point the crew would realize that bounty hunting is not their true calling and move on to a different profession. Okay, for some reason, we're skipping number 4 because there's nothing there. They skipped 4. So we're going on to 3. Spike's cigarette addiction. Having trained with the Red Dragon Syndicate, Spike Spiegel is a deadly fighter. In many sessions, Spike is shown battling multiple enemies at once. Despite his profound mastery of martial arts, Spike is also a heavy smoker. As nary a scene passes where he isn't seen with a cigarette. That's true. As most know, cigarette smoke is harmful to the human body and causes tremendous stress on the lungs. At this point in his life, and the amount of cigarettes Spike has smoked, it's likely his fighting skills and overall endurance would be negatively affected by his habit. But there is no explanation as to how he is able to keep it up and remain so fit. Okay, so number 2, Spike's obsession with Julia. Spike is a character haunted by a lover from his past, Julia. As the series progresses, more details are learned about their previous relationship, and it is revealed that before dating Spike, she was in love with Vicious, which explains the animosity between the two characters and their antagonistic relationship. Spike's infatuation with Julia is puzzling because Spike should have moved on from Julia at this point in the series. He is a fashionable dresser, has great hair, and is the best character in the series. Although his profession often leaves him isolated, traveling aimlessly through space. He shares a ship with Faye, who is also single, recently heartbroken, and searching for love. There are plenty of cowgirls in space. Number 1, Spike's fate. The final moments of The Real Folk Blues Part 2 confirms Vicious's death, but leaves Spike's fate ambiguous. That's the one part that really puzzles me. Did he actually die, or did he actually live? However, the common theory leans towards Spike's death, seeing as how Laughing Bull predicted it in the yeah, that one episode. However, in a 2013 interview with the Red Carpet TV News, Shinshiro Watanabe, yeah, the creator of Cowboy Bebop, said, I think people who watch the ending and think that Spike is asleep are probably right, just sleeping. While it's impossible to tell if he was joking or not, that remains true that Spike is a survivor. Seeing how in previous sessions he's lived through multiple gunshot wounds, and being thrown out of a window several hundred feet in the air. Hopefully, Netflix's live action series will shed more light on Spike's ultimate fate. Hopefully. I have no idea why they skipped number 4, but yeah. So technically, they only did 9 things. So that was from Screen Rant. Uh, I didn't write this. So now we're going to dive right into the Adult Swim for Friday, August 20th. Starting at 8 o'clock, you have American Dad, and at 10 o'clock, you have Family Guy. 11 o'clock, you have Rick and Morty, and at 11:30, you You have Tuca and Birdie till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then at 3 o'clock, you have Rick and Morty. And then after that, you have another episode of Tuca and Birdie. At 4 a.m., Gemma Sedu. 4:30, you have infomercials. And finally, at 5 o'clock in the morning, if you're still awake, is going to be home movies. So, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that now. Hit the subscription button, ring that bell, give us that thumbs up if you like what we're doing, and also tell your friends, family, tell anyone who likes anime, who likes the MCU, or both, and just share. And on that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next episode.